What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Ran When Parked. Today, we are going on a little bit of an adventure with the Honey Badger here. I've been kind of teasing that for a couple weeks now. We did some work on this thing to kind of get it ready, and that is because we're going up to Vermont and we're going to get our Bombardier Mad Max Snowcat sidewalk plow thing that we messed with and did a Will It Start episode on quite a while ago. I did not get it running. I did almost burn it to the ground, if you guys remember. But we're going to go back up there, and I'm going to get it on the trailer, and I'm going to move it to somewhere else where I can actually work on it, either down here or another place up in Vermont. And the reason for that is that it was just tough, working in the mud and stuff, and I didn't have the tools I needed. I didn't have the parts I needed. I'm a long way from those parts, so we are going to go round 2 with this machine. But first, I got to do some work on the trailer so I can head up there. Now, some of you, probably not, but maybe have been wondering where my Turbo LS swapped RX-7 FD is, and that is because it has been sitting outside on my trailer under this temporary Shelter Logic garage that I put up next to the shop. So today we're going to get the RX-7 off the trailer, we're going to pull the trailer out, and I'm going to see if the lights work and stuff because I haven't moved it in a while. We'll get the winch mounted up on it. Actually, it already is. I'm looking at it right now. Just make sure everything works and get ready to go and get the Bombardier and get moving on that thing and do another Will It Start episode. So stick with me. This is going to be interesting. We're going on an adventure. Let's get the RX-7 off the trailer. Guys, first thing, how many attempts do you think it'll take for me to get this thing lined up by myself? We shall see. First try. So guys, we're just gonna dump this thing off the trailer, and there is a way I have to do this with these ramps as far as putting boards under it and stuff. But to be honest with you, I don't remember exactly how much board goes under each side, so we're gonna try it like that. And then I think I also need short boards between here and here when the front end gets there. Otherwise, the intercooler will hit on the bottom side. So I don't know. We're gonna start lowering it and see what hits first. So let's go. It doesn't look like it's gonna hit, but I've done this once or twice and I think it will. And there she lies, once again, abandoned in the temporary garage. I do feel bad that the RX-7 gets ignored so much on the channel and in general because I have the other projects, but I do promise you guys we are going to be working on this thing very soon, because all winter I've been kind of quietly hoarding parts for this thing, both engine and interior and suspension, all kinds of stuff. So I do promise it will be coming in the garage soon, and we will actually work on it and get it back out on the street. So you'll see that soon. Anyway, back to what we were doing. All right, guys, so first things first, I already noticed while I was hooking this thing up that we have a ground wire that is broken. So that's gonna be a problem. It looks like it'll work for now, but I'm gonna have to fix it, before we actually go anywhere. So first things first, let's try some lights, see what we got. Maybe it'll all work, we can just take off, I don't know. I doubt it. So lights on, we'll just go hazards on. That way I get the blinkers. So my lights are on. Let's see here. That one's going. That's good. So that ground is working, at least temporarily. Looks like nothing here. Oh, that's on. Just the light though, no flasher. And then we got on, not on, not on. And this one is both on and flashing. So we're missing a bulb in the middle. We're missing 2 bulbs on the edge. And we are missing the flasher over here. Let's try brakes real quick. Okay, so brakes. So the brakes on the truck are on. And we've got nothing here. And we got brakes over here. Okay, so got to take this one apart first. We got no blinker, no brake, which is going to be the same bulb. That's the double filament bulb. Actually, that'll be the single. Actually, that'll be both bulbs. Because the double filament is the blinker and the running light. The running light works, and the single filament is for the brakes. So we'll take that one apart first. Who knows? This one's working 100%. Then we have to take this one apart. It's probably just bulbs. And I'm not going to worry about the one in the middle because we're not towing at night at all anyway. And that light doesn't come on unless you put your running lights on. So it's really about blinkers and brake lights. And then we will also fix this ground. But first, let's take that one apart. Okay guys, so first problem is everything is working at the plug on the back of the truck. The problem with the left blinker is that the yellow wire in this extension harness has no continuity. So first we need to replace our extension harness. That will probably solve the blinker problem, and also I think it's going to solve the brake problem because a 4-pin harness is really meant to use the same bulb. So you have a double filament bulb. When you turn the lights on, one filament is on. When you turn the blinker on, the other filament is on. When you hit the brakes, both filaments are on. So that's how it works off 4 wires. One is the ground, one is for the running lights, one is for the left blinker, one is for the right blinker, 4 wires. So we're going to go ahead and replace this. And I think we're going to have all our lights back running except the one that needs bulbs. We'll change those also, and I'll be right back. So guys, remember a couple videos ago I mentioned that I had some wiring and I used it all over the place, and I wish I knew everywhere I used it because it just corroded? Well, that's what I made this extension harness out of, and here's a perfect example of what I was talking about. You can see it corroded and came right apart at the soldered joint. So that was our problem. But that's not going to be a problem anymore because I got rid of the harness and I just extended the wire all the way from the trailer and put a connector on it so it works with my truck now. I also replaced the ground with a nice stainless bolt, redid all that stuff, and since we have our blinkers on here, now we have blinkers on both sides and we have brakes on both sides. I will say that this light still doesn't work. I changed the bulbs, doesn't work. I don't know what's wrong with it, but we're not driving at night, so that's okay. So we should be all ready to go. I'm going to take care of a couple small things, and then let's get moving. right, so we're here, back in the little snowcat thing up in Vermont, and it looks maybe a little bit worse for the wear since the last time we were up here. 2 more years of neglect, you know the deal. Covers are back off of it, but we are gonna get this thing going, that's for sure. And we're not gonna burn it to the ground this time, and we're gonna have it in a much easier place to work on. Ooh, the carburetor was covered. That's nice. We're getting fancy up here. So let's get this thing loaded up, get it out of here. So first thing, we gotta hook up the jumper pack, get the hydraulics moving on the starter, and get the blade in the air. Otherwise, it'll just be dragging the whole time. And I hope this thing doesn't come flying down the hill, because it does freewheel pretty fast. Take out the honey badger, plow it into the river. That would be pretty unfortunate. So let's get this thing moving. She's up. Pretty good.
That's up pretty good now. Actually hits the bumper of the machine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Doesn't seem too interested in moving. Okay, so it's on, but very, very crooked, and I'm not towing it like that. And the more we try to mess with it, the more crooked it gets for whatever reason. I don't know why. Partially because it's just a little bit too narrow for this trailer, so it like gets on this lip here and doesn't want to go over. So I'm gonna back this thing all the way up the hill where there is an excavator, and we are gonna pick the back end of this thing up and just move it over. Do it the easy way, so here we go. right, so we got her up the hill. We're gonna hook her up to the old excavator here and move it over. So let's see how that works. Okay, gang, so this thing is loaded up, strapped down, it's level on the trailer, kind of centered, more or less. I had to bring it way forward. As it turns out, they're like very, very back heavy, which I didn't really see coming, because you think the plow would be 1,000,000 pounds, but it's not. I can actually pick the front of that thing up by myself. So I had to kind of put it over the front of the trailer because we had it all loaded up, and then I went to leave and I picked up the tongue and I could move it myself. So I had no tongue weight at all. So it's here, and you guys saw the video of me towing it behind the Ford, and that is because I brought it over to my father's house, which is about 15 miles away from where it was up on the mountain on, you know, other families' property up in Vermont here. And it's gonna stay here for now. And part of the reason why is because I don't have room at the shop in Connecticut, and the other reason why is that you see the honey badger is not connected to it. It's all the way down over there. And the reason why is that it has like 12 or 10 psi hot oil pressure right now. So when I was driving it home, or back here that is to say, it it kind of lost a lot of oil pressure. So I don't know why. It might just be hot. I'm hoping it's hot. It's a hot day out, and I've never really had a load behind it since I built it. And I was doing some research, and people were saying that's relatively normal for a 12 valve. Once the oil gets real thin, it'll drop to like 12, 15 psi. And I can live with that. So I'm gonna have to put a mechanical gauge on it and find out, but I am pretty nervous about it. So what I'm going to do is just get the honey badger home, and we're gonna cross our fingers that we're not rebuilding the Cummins for that thing. And I'm not gonna put, you know, 8,000 more pounds behind it between the trailer and the Bombardier. So we're gonna leave this thing for here now, and that's where we're gonna call it. However, I will either come up here and get this thing off and do the will it start and, you know, get it running and rip it around, or I will drag it down to my house in Connecticut and do it. Honestly, it makes a lot more sense to have it up here because my dad could use it for the snow, so I don't even know if I want it in Connecticut. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Turned into quite the cluster trying to get the thing off the mountain, so. All right, guys, so we're stopped on the ride home, and the truck is making about, what is that? 12 psi oil pressure, which is like the Cummins minimum for hot. It's now up to like maybe 15, but it was never like that before. So I think we have a problem here. Hopefully it's the sender or something like that, but that's going to be it. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys are thinking below, and I'll see you guys next time on Ran When Parked. I just hope the next time you see me, it's not because we're putting a new engine in the Honey Badger.